Ikeja area of the state. Udeyin said that, a vigilant police officer reported that a young man had come out of a car and dropped a bag by the side of the Nigeria Customs Service Federal Operations Unit's fence, after which he returned to the vehicle and sped off. The area then was immediately cordoned off, while IED experts were deployed to the spot. I mean, Aya, what does this signify to you? I mean, it sounds really scary.
Very scary, very serious, but interesting, still sketchy details in terms of how, the bomb squad helped to detonate that bomb, and then maybe further investigations. I know around that area, we have some security cameras that had been installed by this administration, Lagos State government. So it'll be great to see, because it's beyond this happening. Number one, it would be good to investigate the motive for that. Is it as part of the protest, or the people, one of those people that were touted to want to hijack the peaceful protest of the people? It would be really great to understand that. And going back to the first clip with the policemen showing strength and force that was on Admiralty Way in Lekki, here in Lagos State. And again, going back to that conversation on motive, what was the reason for doing that? And I want to believe that the reason they came out was to show the hijackers that they were serious about business and they were going to protect the protesters and that nothing must happen to them, because that is the job of the police, not to be seen to be against the people, but to be on the side of the people. As many people have said, part of what the people are asking for, are calling for, is also on behalf of the police.
Yes,
when we went to one of the states, I think Bayelsa State, one of the placards...
This has been able to clarify it, and things are pretty much cool. I mean, the governor of Obasanjo had been, talking to people and all of that in the state, but in other parts, I think for the police officers that were doing the show of force, I know they were instructed to, but the truth has to be said. You are doing show of force against people that are protesting about how deplorable your wages are and how low the standard of living for our police officers have been. I got a call yesterday from a police officer that was telling me about the police cooperative, how it's not centralized, how they make deductions from them, and it's very difficult when they want to get their money back. Our Nigerian police live in a deplorable way. They live on slave-like wage. The minimum wage as we speak today is slave-like. Audrey, you go to America. What can $45 buy you? If you want to buy a good meal in New York City, can you buy it for $45? Can you? If you even go to some place, you want to buy a good gourmet burger, by the time you spend buy 2 or 3 burgers, won't you have finished $45?
Yeah.
That's the minimum wage in Nigeria today.
Yeah.
That's the deplorable way. And what are people protesting against, Audrey? Bad governance, which the president has shown, largely. 2 policies that affect the life of people. You are saying we should tighten our bed. At the same time, you want to buy private presidential jets. You bid 21 billion worth of vice presidential lodge. You gave the senators 160 million supplementary budget. Now you've gone back to the National Assembly. 160 million to buy cars in supplementary. Now you go back to the National Assembly. You want to become more reckless by saying that the Senate should help you increase ways and means from 5% to 15%. We are seeing insecurity everywhere. We are seeing massive poverty. The food you've given out to people not knowing what they write them about, because they are buying the food. Humanitarian ministry, you've not settled out the case. Billions of naira, we don't know where the money is gone for. There's corruption everywhere in this country. There's avarice, there's chaos. That's why people are on the streets.
You know what? I think the biggest thing to take out here is that, the people are wanting to hear from the president. Yesterday, the Lagos State governor actually addressed Lagosians. Let's take a listen to what he said.
It is pertinent to ask, is protest a practical catalyst for progress the nation requires at this time? Will such a protest suddenly ensure that all of our challenges disappear in 10 days? Will the protest suddenly ensure that the prices of foodstuff dropped on the 11th day? Will shutting down the economy for 10 days inspire an economic growth we all earnestly desire? I hold a strong view that a protest at this time will do none of these things for us as a nation. Rather, it would roll back the modest gain that we have made in previous facets of our social economic life as a people and as a state.
All right, Dr. Abati, I heard you refer to this earlier, and I would love for you to talk about it. But before you do that, the Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Kalu, has also cautioned Igbo people to stay away from the nationwide protest. Let's take a look.
Igbos, stay away. Igbos, stay in your houses. You'll be used as an scapegoat. They will target you and they will waste you. Igbos, we have died enough. Our blood has filled the street enough. Allow those who feel they can do it, let them go and do it. We'll be strong enough. For this protest, let us be weak now. Let those ones who are strong, let them stand on the street. Igbos, be weak now to sit at home. If there's any sit at home that will be effective, not the one you have done on Mondays, let it be the one that will happen at this protest. As one of the leaders of this country, and as one of the leaders from the southeastern region, that you love and you have confidence in, I am telling you, if you have never shown weakness before, let it be shown now. Igbos, we have shown strength in civil war. We have shown strength in agitation. We have shown strength in fighting for IPOB and MASOB and all the rest of them. In sitting at home, please be weak now. Because they were looking for opportunity to slaughter you. Sit at home.
They are looking for opportunity to slaughter. I know you want to speak, but I want to give Dr. Patti the opportunity to speak on some of the stories that we have discussed.
I said in the morning, when I was doing the review of the reactions, from the states, basically, that almost all the state governors have called for calm, they've called for peace, whether it's in Kwara, Kogi, Yobe, Zamfara, in Kano, where the protesters are now also on the streets. The governor, Abba Yusuf, also said, well, the people can protest, but please just make sure you are peaceful. In Bayelsa, Governor Doye Diri told people to go to work. In Imo State, we understand there is no protester on the street, And then you have Lagos State. Ogun went to court, got an ex parte order. Kwara went to court, got an ex parte order. But in Lagos, Governor Sanwo-Olu took the additional step of addressing the people in a 20-minute televised address yesterday, basically appealing to the people. And what interests me in his presentation are the questions that he asked. He said, okay, is it the protest that will bring down the price of foodstuffs? Or does it mean that after 10 days protest, on the 11th day, people will suddenly discover that things have changed? They may be rhetorical questions, but he's raising those questions because he knows where the shoe pinches. He was governor in 2020 when you had the NSAS protests. All the vehicles, the BRT vehicles, brand new, that he had, his administration had procured and put on the roads. Most of them were destroyed. Over 50 were destroyed. Police stations were destroyed. Lekki Toge, it was his government's responsibility to fix all the things that were destroyed. Not to even talk of the compensation, the panel that was set up, and all of that. So my own concern is that what Governor Sanwo-Olu did, sets an example for President Tinubu. President Tinubu should have been the one to seize the initiative to talk to the people, either yesterday or this morning. And he's just sending secretary to government of federation, ministers. Nigeria is at a point now where you don't delegate certain things. So I think for President Tinubu, it's a missed opportunity, for him not to have addressed the people. Benjamin Kalu talking and saying Igbos this and that. Well, he's just expressing an opinion. He's not in a position to dictate to people what they should do. He can only advise. So the fact that he's an Igbo man and is a deputy speaker in the House of Reps, it does not make him superior to any other Igbo man. But what we know is that in Imo and other parts of the Southeast, people are sitting at home. So please, Benjamin Kalu shouldn't get carried away because of the position he occupies.
All right.
He can only advise the people to obey the rule of...
Good morning. I believe that we have reports that, protesters were tear gassed by police earlier today. Bring us up to speed.
All right, good morning, Meryl. Good morning, Rufai, Dr. Patti. Okay, so I'm standing now in front of the Eagle Square where we have the Federal Secretariat. We have all the three armed zones as far as to the National Assembly. We have so many police officers armed and ready to, take charge in case anything happens. However, we had heard earlier from some journalists who were here that some people were trying to gather and they had to use tear gas to disperse them. But where I'm standing currently, there is no protester in sight. There are no sign of tear gas. So we just have the police officers stationed at different points, ensuring that people keep going and no gathering is formed whatsoever. That's what we have, what we're seeing right now.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Georgina. And please do stay safe out there. Rufai, earlier, I would like for us to even just go over the, I believe, the 12-point demand of the protesters. We saw one of them holding a placard. If we can pull up the 12-point demand there for us to read out to our viewers. They said, 1, revert to petrol pump price at 100 naira per litre. 2, combat insecurity. 3, close all IDP camps and resettle the campers. 4, total electoral reform. 5, independent probe into the electoral budget of 355 billion naira. 6, immediate release of NSAS protesters still in detention. 7, implementation of minimum wage of 300,000 naira. 8, compulsory free education from primary to secondary school. 9, children of public school holders must attend public schools in the country. 10, government must patronize made in Nigeria goods. 11, transition to unicameral legislation. 12, judicial and constitutional review. Rufai, I believe that you want to make some pertinent points.
Yes, so I want to say some things. Number one is my response to Mr. Kalu, Mr. Benjamin Kalu, Honorable Benjamin Kalu. Honorable, do not make this about ethnic baiting. This protest has never been about Igbo, Yoruba, or Hausa. It has been about, underline the word, Nigerians. And before I represent any of those ethnic groups, I am a Nigerian first. If I am to take your international passport, what is written there as nationality is Nigerian. Nigerians are the ones suffering and are the ones hungry. So this idea of telling Igbos not to go out and protest and all of that, no, let's not divide ourselves here. Right. As regards those demands pretty much, segue into the aspirations of a lot of people and all of that. But here we have to go.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, all right. We will continue to bring our viewers up to speed regarding the End Bad Governance in Nigeria protest. I'd like to thank you all. A great analysis, as always, on What's Trending. Well, that's all I have for you guys on What's